we are good. Okay, hi guys. So a lot of you guys know I went on a ski trip this past weekend, like super short, really impromptu, and I really wanted to recap on my first experience snowboarding. But rather than tell everyone, like each individual person, the story over and over and over, I just figured I'll make a video and you guys can all watch it. So, yeah, I have a ridiculous story to tell you. So, we left, like I said, I left on Friday. I met up with some other volunteers in Batumi. And then from Batumi, we took a marshuka, or a small bus, up to this mountain village. I don't really know much about the place, but it's a growing resort. And it was pretty nice, like very legit. So, we get up there, we have about 3 hours of practice after having gotten fitted for a board. We are on this small kiddie hill where a lot of the ski instructors teach their younger riders how to ski. So, like a typical novice, I get up there and I fall. I wipe out a lot. But I eventually got the hang of it and started riding I don't want to say pretty well, but I would stay on the board. I wouldn't get knocked off like by the end of the 3 hours. So next morning, like we called it a day and we went to go eat. Next morning, we get up, we get out, we go to the ski lift. Before heading over, I'm like, I'm gonna get a helmet because this is gonna be a lot higher and I just wanna be safe. I had like 4 jackets on, I had a helmet, I had goggles. I was like a giant marshmallow, a giant marshmallow. I was just like, I really wanted to be safe. Well, there's a reason why there's no after photo. I was the only one to get hurt. So this is how it goes. We get to the top of the mountain, and from the ski lift, I'm just like, okay, this is kind of high, but it can't be super steep. It's gonna be level in some places, and it's gonna be okay. So we get up there, the guys take off, and I kind of hang back for a little bit, trying to muster up my courage and get myself together. And I'm like, all right, let's go. So then I head off, and again, like a typical novice, I fall, and I fall a lot. But I get back up, I'm actually struggling in the snow at one point because it was so high. I had like veered off course, and it was so high that I was struggling in the snow. And the guys, as they would go down the slope and come back up, they were able to see me like struggling in the snow. So yeah, I just thought it was funny. But anyway, I was doing I guess my best. So eventually I get back up and I'm let's see. There were a couple of times that I was actually on the board and really riding. Well, the trouble came the first time. So again, I was falling a lot, but I fell one time really hard, and I like felt my ankle kind of like not pop, but it just move how it shouldn't. And I was like, oh, that hurts, but I'm okay, I'm fine, just kind of walk it off and continue on. So I did. The last time that I fell, the one that really knocked me out was I was coming up on 2 small hills, right? So you're coming down, and then there's a small hill that you don't even see it until you get right on it. So I was like, crap, all right, let's do it. So I'm going down slow, and I'm picking up speed. So I'm like, let me slow myself down. So I start to like drag one hand behind me, kind of like a longboarder, like a longboarder on a turn. So I have one hand behind me, and I'm dragging, trying to slow myself down. Well, I get through that part. I'm like, okay, cool. Second part is a lot longer. It's not as steep, but it's just a lot longer. So I go down again, and I'm dragging my hand, and then I'm like, whoa, I'm not slowing down. This is like really fast. So I turn, and I use my left hand as well. So now both hands are like basically clawing at the snow behind me. But when I did that and I turned my whole body, I shifted my board, so my board turned as well. It picked up snow, and then it flipped me, and I hit my head. I landed head first on the hard paved snow. Oh my gosh! Like, I actually found a little animation to show you how I fell. It hurt. Like, I mean, I'd fallen a gazillion times that day, but that one really, I really rattled myself to the point where as I was laying in the snow, I was like, never again. No, no, never again. So I'm in so much pain, and I'm just kind of like trying to get myself together and calm myself down. I had closed my eyes for what seemed like a second, and then I open them up, and I look up, and there's these two rescue guys above me. And I'm just kind of like, whoa, they got here fast. Maybe, they had kind of like sought me out of the crowd because they knew I was struggling. And as I tumbled down this mountain, but they were very quick. They were asking me all these questions in Russian, and I was like, I don't understand. They started speaking to me in Georgian, and as I was trying to like just regain composure and translate what they're saying and respond to them, they had said one word, and I had said "key," yeah. Then they bring out this neck brace. So they put me in the neck brace, and I'm sitting there in the snow, and I'm just like, okay, like. They asked if I want to go to the doctor on site. I say yes, and I'm like, all right, I want to walk. And they said, no, don't walk. You may have a concussion. Okay, now let's rewind for a second. I had a helmet on, and I was the only one to wear a helmet of our group, but the helmet was too small. The guy that I rented it from said that it's fine, and it did fit my head. So he's like, yeah, it's fine, but it wasn't long enough. So where it ended, where the actual helmet ended, was in the middle of my head. So when I fell back and hit my head, that edge just like jut into my head. So we're sitting there in the snow, and they're thinking that I may have a concussion or something. They end up bringing a toboggan, and they strap me down to it. Like, they literally like put my arms down and strap me to it. So then I'm being led down the rest of the mountain behind this guy, this rescue skier, in this bright red toboggan. And we get down to like the normal level, and we're passing everybody. I had my eyes closed because I was just thinking, like, what if we flip over? We were going so fast down this mountain. I was like, what if we flip over? And like, I can't, like my arms are strapped down. So anyway, I was closing my eyes. But when I had passed people on the first level, that's where the rest of my group was. And they just coincidentally had seen me with my eyes closed, and they thought that I was knocked unconscious. They thought something happened, like really crazy. So they told me that they dropped their stuff and they just like ran after the toboggan. We get to the medical center. I'm telling them I can walk. I want to walk. I can walk. And they're like, no. So they pick me up and carry me inside until I eventually like tell them like put me down. So they put me down, and I walked in. Everyone else, I had a team of like 10 people like swarming all around me, asking me questions in Georgian at the same time. And I'm just kind of like, I'm still trying to like calm myself down. At this point, I had started crying because I'm just like, I'm thinking, what if I really did mess myself up? What if like I do have a concussion, or what if I messed up my back or whatever? I don't know. So the doctor, like this nurse lady, is like taking off my jackets and like all my layers. The doctor is asking me all these questions. One of the guys I was with, the volunteers, he had called the medical doctor, our Peace Corps issued medical doctor. And he's telling her of the situation. I'm like, crap, like, no. Because, again, I couldn't fully, like, assess myself because, one, the adrenaline, two, everything happened so quickly, and three, there was just so many things going on at the same time. I was like, I don't want to, like, call in and, have it be a bigger deal than it actually is. Well, they, within a matter of minutes, the doctor had set up, 2 other hospitals to care for me. So she's like, okay, from where you are, you're going to take an ambulance down the mountain to this local hospital. From there, you're going to have a small assessment, and then they're going to take you, another ambulance is going to come from Batumi, which is like 3 hours away. They're going to come pick you up and then take you back to Batumi for an actual head scan, like a CT head scan. I had an x-ray. I'll get to that in a second. So yeah. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what if I really, like, I'm such an idiot, like, I shouldn't have done this, da 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 da. Okay, so we go back. I'm like, okay, I'm fine, I can get my stuff. So I go back to the hotel that we're staying at, I get my stuff. Another volunteer is packing up his stuff as well. I'm just kind of like, wait, are you leaving too? Like, everyone has to leave because of me? And he's like, no, I'm coming with you. So I had one guy escort me throughout the whole trip, and he's super amazing for that. Like, he kind of had to, but still, I appreciate it. Like, so the rest of the guys, they're just kind of waiting and kind of looking on and helping out. They were so considerate and helpful. Thank you guys. So we get on our way. We go down to the hospital. We go to the hospital down the mountain. I have a small little assessment, and then we just kind of wait for the next ambulance. By the time I get to Batumi, the next ambulance comes. And by the time I get to Batumi, I'm wheeled like right in, and I have my head scanned, and then they take me to a room, and they take me back out, and I get my foot x-rayed, then they take me back to a room, and then I go back out, and I have an ultrasound to see if I have any internal bleeding, and then I come back to this room, and then they take me back out for like blood tests. Like they took blood so that they can see if there were, I think they said if there was a drop in white blood cells, because that can be an indication of internal bleeding. So they did all this stuff, and it took a couple of hours, but still, like, the attention that they gave me, I didn't think I needed all that attention as quickly as I gave it, because there were other people in this emergency room that were, just as sick. So I felt bad, but I was also very impressed and just very grateful for Peace Corps and how I was treated. Like, it was amazing. All right, so by the time all this is over, so we had gotten on the mountain maybe around 10, 11. I only lasted like 40 minutes or so. So from 11:40 up until 9 p.m., I was in transit to a hospital or in a hospital. So we finally were able to go maybe around 9 o'clock, 9:15 p.m. So yeah, that was my experience. It was crazy. But you know what's even more ridiculous is that I want to do it again. Like, I really do. I really did enjoy my time snowboarding, and I think that with more practice and logic, I can have a really successful hobby, successful hobby. So yeah, I think I'm going to try to look into it whenever I go back to the States and just keep it up. So again, I just want to say thank you to the volunteers that I was with. Like, you guys were amazing. I appreciate it. And especially the volunteer that stuck with me throughout everything. Poor guy, like, he was just like stuck in either an ambulance or a hospital like the whole day. So I appreciate it. Yeah, all right. So aftercare. All right, so everything checked out. I don't have a concussion. I don't have anything wrong with me. I do have a sprained ankle, and my head still hurts, like, because I really rattled myself. So my head is still, it hurts. My neck is sore because of how I fell. My body is sore because I guess that's just normal for like snowboarding or skiing. So that was expected, but my neck and my head and my foot, I just need some rest. They told me to take a week off, and now I'm chilling at home. So, yeah. Okay, all right. Bye, you guys. How do I...